everybody, this is Alchemist 2, and I'm back again with another book review. I just read, Counting Backwards, A Doctor's Notes on Anesthesia by Henry J. Przbola. And I don't know Dr. Przbola, but the title actually caught my attention. I've always been fascinated by the discipline of medicine in and of itself, but people don't really realize how important it really is, especially for those who are the underappreciated ones, which would be the anesthesiologists. He says something very interesting here. It's just on the chapter called The 5 A's, which talks about the different types of without feeling, because anesthesia actually means without feeling, but he says it encompasses more than that. You have anxiolysis, that's the relieving of stress created by an upcoming surgical procedure. And they're actually working on that because a lot of people have phobias about especially kids. He talks about the experiences he had with children patients. Amnesia, preventing memory formation during anesthesia care. Analgesia, relieving of pain, of course I know that, considered beyond the procedure room to include post-procedure pain relief, acute trauma pain relief, and chronic pain. Akinesia, preventing a patient's movement during procedure. Areflexia, stopping adrenaline surge and swings in blood pressure. So those are the 5 A's, which I didn't know anything about. But he mentions he's very grateful for iPads because normally it's the mother who comforts the child before they go under anesthetic. And God bless the mothers who do that, because I can't even imagine. I've never had any children, but I can only fathom what it would be like for a child to undergo something that frightening and for them to be distracted and then kind of go under the knife for whatever procedure. He was talking a lot about a lot of penile procedures that patients would undergo, and I thought, the circumcision ones under the knife, they have topical, and I thought, as a child that doesn't really sound so bad, but I heard a lot about adults. I have a lot of friends in the Mediterranean, and they're not doing it for religious purposes, but they're doing it for cleanliness and prevention of HPV, which has been proven. A lot of people kind of poo-poo that, but no, it's true. Anyways, this goes into how pain relief was discovered through poppies and cocoa leaves, and of course aspirin, and the Inca and the Aztecs. And he talks about propofol, which we all know was overdosed from Michael Jackson, and we all know that wasn't an accident. That's just a conspiracy theory, but I believe the conspiracy is true. And I love the chapter where he speaks about, there was a patient who didn't have a testicle that descended well, and he was going in for a procedure. The conversation that they had in the OR, doctor said, what we converse about in the OR stays in the OR, so you can tell me anything. Do you have a girlfriend? No, really. Do you have a girlfriend? And he finally relented and dished about his girlfriend, and it was just so cute that he was able to provide a rapport. Really excellent book, very revealing, very interesting too. I didn't know that all these things happened, and it gives you a whole new perspective. I've always had respect for anesthesiologists. I don't know why, but it's just they are the thankless heroes, and they're responsible for making sure a patient's vital signs don't dip too low, because there's always, of course, that kind of delicate dance with the blood-brain barrier, and people don't understand just how accurate you have to be and how precise, but that's, thankfully, a lot of doctors know what they're doing. And this doctor, Przbola really knows what he's doing, and just his accounts and how people thanked him. Most of the time they did. A lot of the time it was basically a thankless job because they don't get the respect they deserve. And honestly, I think they do. I think the anesthesiologists, just like anybody else on the medical team, no matter how inferior, like even the candy stripers, I think the candy striper deserves their moment in the sun too, because they're important. Every little person is important. Even the janitor is important. The janitor is extremely important because sanitary issues. But every person, even if they're not in the medical field, they deserve respect. And this just gives a whole new glimpse of what really goes on in the OR. I was utterly mesmerized by it. I couldn't put it down. It was very short. But if you're like me and you just find things like this intriguing, then I definitely pick it up. It talks about Henry in the back. He's an MD, of course. He's a professor of anesthesiology at Northwestern University School of Medicine. He holds an MFA in creative nonfiction. Woohoo! From Groucher College. He lives in Chicago. And this was actually when was this published? I don't think it says on the inside of the book. Yeah, actually, copyright 2018. Wow! So we got a book before 2018 actually arrived. Hey, I've got a book from the future. Woo! I'm a time traveler. Anyways, it's just extremely well written. It's very engaging. The language doesn't go over your head, even though you might be a layman. For me, I thought, "Ooh, yes, we're getting back into Latin," and I don't know why I get excited about it, but I know a little bit, not enough to actually make myself dangerous. But I wish I knew more Latin. Latin is a really beautiful language, and I feel like Sanskrit and Aramaic, a lot of the so-called dead languages, Babylonian, I think a lot of those languages are used with alchemy. I'm not sure why, but just a theory of mine. But that's all I got to say about counting backward. So until next time, live long, prosper. Ciao, tutti. Happy Boxing Day.